Hey everybody, it's Max. A little departure from your normal full-time. It's my form, so I can do whatever I want. I would like to apologize first and foremost. I didn't have my proper camera, so I'm doing this off my phone, which I think is going to be okay. Anyway, hopefully the audio is just fine. But I wanted to talk to you because one of my favorite events kicks off tomorrow morning, and if you know me, I love all sports, and particularly this one. It is the Rugby World Cup, which will begin in Japan. 20 teams, and a really good tournament to look forward to. I think this sport is growing. So just so you know about rugby, you have a ruling class of 3 or 4 teams, and you have 4 or 5 that are starting to come up and might bite them here in 2019. And then you have a second class of teams that play well but are probably going to win a game best at the World Cup, and maybe will never catch the teams ahead of them. But it's still a great event, and you see growth and development. All right, why am I talking about the Rugby World Cup? Well, first and foremost, and I know a lot of you youngins out there look at me and say, who is this schlep that just appeared on SportsCenter one day on ESPN? Well, I'm much older than I look. I know a lot of you think I'm 28, but I'm actually 47. Did I just say that? Say that out loud? Yeah, I'm 47. And when I was 28, or 27, I hosted the first ever rugby show on American television. It was called the Rugby Club and Championship Rugby on Fox, and we showed games from everywhere. I remember it because they were games in New Zealand and South Africa, so I would have to get up I would stay out till like 4 a.m. and then I'd come home at 4 a.m. and go to bed, because that's when the games were being played. So I have that experience. I also have been an avid rugby player. I never played soccer, even though I cover the sport. I've never fought, even though I cover mixed martial arts, but rugby I have played, and 15 years I played at Florida State. I played at the Santa Monica Rugby Club, and if I don't say myself, I was a pretty handy player. Probably could have made a few more tackles in my career, but 15, 16 years, I've earned this form. But I love the sport. It's a beautiful sport. And this Rugby World Cup is going to be very good. And as I get into it, the preview, and I'm not going to get into too many details because, to be perfectly honest, I haven't watched enough rugby. As many experts are there, but maybe this is a good forum for you guys to get an understanding and get excited to watch. There's going to be games on NBC Sports Network here in the US, and they also have a gold package you can get. So if you want to check it out, do that. Because it's in Japan, so games are going to be at 3 a.m., 6 a.m., so it's something to watch in the morning to get hyped about. All right, so let's get into the tournament. This rugby itself is the hardest sport in the world to cover the talent gap, for reasons I just told you. In soccer, in a World Cup, if you are, say, Iran and you're playing Spain, you can defend. You can drop players back and defend more, so you don't lose 11 to zip. You might lose 2 to zip, and maybe get lucky. Same in basketball. You're going to get beat up if you are a 16 seed of the tournament, but you can defend or play a zone, and there's always a revolving possession. NFL to a lesser degree, football, I think you can't hide it as much, but there is a possibility, because after you score, you got to kick off to the other team. You don't do that in rugby. I don't want to go through all the sports. Baseball, you can pitch around players. Rugby, you're out there for 80 minutes, and if a team scores, then the team that got scored upon has to kick it back. So if they're really good, they're just going to keep running down. There is no hiding in this sport. So you're going to get some real drubbings, and we've seen it in the past. Do we have an opportunity for surprises? This is going to show you, in this Rugby World Cup, you need talent, you need depth. In 2015, Japan pulled off the biggest upset in the history of the Rugby World Cup, beating past champion South Africa in the opening game. To do that, they laid it all out, and they squeaked by. It was an incredible game. Check it out on YouTube if you want to see the highlights. 2015 Rugby World Cup, Japan, South Africa. Next game, Japan had nothing left and lost by 35 to Scotland, and then they didn't make the quarterfinals. So it was played to one game. They're not going to get a much better shot than that. So you need talent, you need depth. You're going to play 4 games, which is much more than you play in soccer. And that's going to wear you out. So only teams with depth are going to have a shot to win it at the end, because you're going to have to go through players playing that many games in a short amount of time. It begins here in mid to late September. It doesn't end till early November. So it's a fast tournament, but there will be enough gaps. But no one's going to play all 4 games. It's impossible. It's too hard of a sport. So let's get into it. The groups, 4 groups of 5 teams. The 2-time reigning champs are New Zealand, and they are probably the favorite again, even though Ireland is ranked number 1 in the world right now. Ireland beat New Zealand not too long ago, and New Zealand's been hemorrhaging results, which has opened up the tournament for some other squads that I'm very excited to look at. So let's start in Group A. Ireland is going to win that. They're the number 1 team in the world. This is a good group to be in. It's the more forgiving because there's other ones where you have no shot of advancing. Scotland is the 2nd best team. They'll make it out of this group as well. So it'll be a European flavor. Japan and Russia are in this group. They open the tournament. Japan may have a shot at catching Scotland. That would be an incredible story if the hosts can do it, but I just don't think they've closed the gap enough. If you look at Group B, this is where New Zealand is, the number 2 ranked team in the world. South Africa is in this group too, the number 4, and there is 0 chance anybody other than those 2 will advance out of this group. Canada, Italy, and Namibia are the others. I like New Zealand to finish 1st, South Africa to finish 2nd, but those two teams will see each other again down the road. Group C features England, the number 3 team in the world, France, Argentina, Tonga, and the United States. I will say this is an American based YouTuber. I think the United States are going to beat Tonga and get that elusive victory in the World Cup. But England wins it. France aren't great, not the great French teams, but they'll finish 2nd ahead of Argentina, which is not really a great Argentina squad either. I don't think so. They've had better ones 8 years ago. So England and France. Group D, Wales ranked 5th in the world. Australia is ranked 6th in the world. Those 2 teams will go through in that order. Fiji, Georgia, and Uruguay. Fiji might make it interesting for Australia, but Australia is too good. Both Wales and Australia could win this competition, but I don't think they can win. So there you go. That will be your quarterfinals. Now, one thing to keep an eye on here, the Northern Hemisphere has won this once. That was in 2003 when England won it with Johnny Wilkinson. World Cup began in 1987. New Zealand won it, 91 Australia, South Africa 95, Australia 99, South Africa 2007, New Zealand 2011, New Zealand 2015, all in the Southern Hemisphere. So this is a great opportunity for Europe. Europe needs it. Maybe Ireland, maybe Wales, maybe England again. I think one of those 3 could do it. And it'd be a big story if the Northern Hemisphere wins it. And the fact that it's in Japan could make it interesting because the Southern Hemisphere teams have to travel and the Northern Hemisphere teams have to travel. So keep that in mind. So will a European team win it? My bracket. England, Australia meet in the 1st quarterfinal. I like England in one of the best games of the tournament. It'll be very close. New Zealand plays Scotland. New Zealand runs away with it. England, New Zealand in your 1st semifinal. Wales play France. I like the Welsh there somewhat convincingly. I'm not surprising anyone too much here. Ireland will play South Africa, and I like South Africa to win it there. So your semifinals, England, New Zealand, Wales, South Africa. 1st semifinal. New Zealand, you'd be crazy to bet against them, even though they may not be at the standard they were when they won the last 2. They got beaten soundly by Australia in the build-up in the Rugby Championship, and they tied South Africa as well. South Africa looked really good in the build-up. But I like New Zealand to get by England. 2nd semifinal, South Africa to beat the Welsh. God, just thinking of these matchups getting me excited. Look at that. New Zealand, South Africa is your final, and we will have a new champion. I like South Africa. I like their toughness. I like their speed outside, and maybe it's just time. And I really believe this is a team hitting their stride at the exact right time. And they have the depth, and they have the talent. Nkosi Sigaleli e Africa. By the way, things to watch in the Rugby World Cup. The anthems, incredible. These countries, when they play the anthems, it'll make your skin stand on end, your hair stand on end. And secondly, the tradition, the New Zealand haka, the Samoan, and the Tongan war dances. It's gonna be very cool. So enjoy it. Let's check out something new. It's a beautiful sport. Would I play it 16 years if it wasn't beautiful? All right, make sure you subscribe to Full Time because we're talking about everything and anything.